You're listening to the New York Sports Show, the #1 all New York sports podcast. Hosted by Dominic Konareski.
Sports Illustrated said that the New York Jets got screwed with their 2024-2025 schedule, and I beg to differ. I have the schedule in front of me right now, and I'm looking straight at it, and this looks like a very winnable schedule if Aaron Rodgers is able to play more than 75 seconds and stay healthy. But let's get into the biggest factor, which is Aaron Rodgers. Well, more particularly, the quarterback position. You have the oldest quarterback in the league in Aaron Rodgers being your starter. Behind him is mid-30-year-old journeyman Tyrod Taylor, who is expected to miss already at least 2 games due to injury. This is a guy who cannot stay healthy, but overall, like Rodgers, he's able to provide a veteran leadership. And then you have newly drafted Jordan Travis, who broke his leg in his final collegiate season and may not even be ready for week 1. But the goal for Jordan Travis is to stay off the playing field his rookie year and sit behind both Rodgers and Tyrod Taylor and Lawn. And hearing over the news, too, that the Jets were essentially trying to find a replacement for Nathaniel Hackett without actually firing Nathaniel Hackett really makes me wonder who's going to be calling the offensive play calls. Will it be just straight from Robert Saleh? Does Nathaniel Hackett even have that big of a say anymore on the offensive coordinator line? Week 1 has the New York Jets traveling over to California to go up against the San Francisco 49ers. Both defenses match up very evenly. It's going to be a low-scoring game. Brock Purdy coming off of a Super Bowl loss along with the entire 49ers team. They're hungry to get back in the win column. They want to go out there and prove that they can not only get back to the Super Bowl, but they could win it, and start in week 1 with a win would be a massive statement. I think the Jets will lose a very tightly contested match, starting this season 0-1. I do want to note, though, when I was originally doing my predictions and writing them down, I did have the Jets winning. I think it's going to eventually come down to a field goal with the game clock ending. It's going to be a very, very close game. And then also staying on the road for the New York Jets, they go to Tennessee to face the Tennessee Titans. That's going to be an easy win, especially if Will Levis is the Tennessee starting quarterback or even playing in this game. It's going to be a very easy win for the New York Jets. So they're in the win column 1-1. Then they go to the New England Patriots, a dysfunctional team still. They got Drake May. How good really is Drake May going to be? He was one of those up and down quarterbacks right up until he was drafted. Where's he going to land? Is he even going to go in the first round? That's going to be a win. Going up against the Broncos, I would love to see the New York Jets face Zach Wilson. If they face Zach Wilson, that could very well be a loss for New York. Zach Wilson could have himself one of the greatest revenge games of his career. I do think, though, that Zach Wilson would not be the Denver Broncos starting quarterback by the time week 4 comes around. I don't even think he'll be the starting quarterback for week 1. That's going to be a New York Jets win. They are now 3-1. Going to Minnesota to face the Vikings. That's going to be a week 5 loss. So they're 3-2 through 5 games. Going now back at home to the Meadowlands, week 6 against the Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen seems to collapse against the Jets in the first game they play against them in the season, and then he outperforms them massively in the second game. I think the Jets will win that first game. And then going to Pittsburgh for the Steelers, that's going to be an easy win for New York. They don't even know who their quarterback is going to be either. And if it's going to be Russell Wilson, I don't think a new change of scenery would do anything. Now on the road, it's the New England Patriots once again. That's going to be a clean season sweep of New England. The Jets now 6-2 after at one point being 3-2. Facing the Houston Texans, the Jets were able to dominate them last year, but let me remind you, CJ Stroud went out with a head injury, so he was not able to play the full game. That's going to be, once again, a very tightly contested game. I do think the Jets will win, though. They will leave MetLife for the road with a 7-2 record, fresh off of a win. Going against the Cardinals next. The Cardinals are a team that's still going to be a bottom feeder. They're going to have a great draft pick going into this next upcoming draft a year from now. They're going to be 8-2, the New York Jets, leaving the Cardinals just dismantled. The Jets offense is going to have a big day against Arizona. There's no doubt about that. And then going up against the Colts, it's week 11. Your bye week is up next. You want to end things good with a win. We have not seen really anything much of Anthony Richardson because he fell due to the season-ending injury so early last season. I'm honestly excited to see on how that game's going to go. I'm an Anthony Richardson fan, of course, though I want the Jets to win this game. I do have the Jets losing this game, though. I think Anthony Richardson is going to have a very big season. In a way, I'm considering this Anthony Richardson's rookie season because he was injured just so early on last year. So the New York Jets go into their bye week 8-3, and as I said earlier on in this video, they started the season 3-2. So going into their bye week 8-3 is absolutely massive and goes to show just how good the Jets are and how much momentum they have coming out of their bye week. That will be up against the Seattle Seahawks. Geno Smith, though, once again, he wants to get that revenge game from the New York Jets. The Jets, I feel like, really deprived Geno Smith of having a solid NFL career. Smith, in my opinion, is not a fan of the Jets. That's going to be a Jet loss. And now they're 8-4. Capping it off, though, with a win against the Miami Dolphins has them go to 9-4. Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence, up and down, up and down. I like Trevor Lawrence, but I don't really feel like he's the true franchise quarterback of the Jacksonville Jaguars. I just feel like he's been a very good bridge quarterback. That's going to be a Jet win. They are now 10-4. I don't think that they will be the first team to reach 10 wins in the season, but they will definitely be a top team in the NFL and especially in the AFC. Going up against the Rams, that's going to be honestly a very interesting game. You have Matthew Stafford, who's a dinosaur, and Aaron Rodgers, who's a dinosaur. It's really going to be a toss-em-up kind of game. That's going to be definitely a offensive game. I think both quarterbacks are going to ball out. I have the Jets winning that, though, to go 11-4. And then, as I mentioned, Josh Allen, Bills suck in the first game, perform very well in the second. Bills are going to win that Week 17 matchup. So the Jets move to being 11-5. And then, of course, we have that one extra game that I feel like I'm still getting used to, even though it's been around for a few years now. Week 18 against the Miami Dolphins. I have the New York Jets ending their season with a win. So pulling off a clean sweep of Miami. I don't even think that Tua Tagovailoa will be playing in Week 18. I feel like he'll be knocked out with an injury somewhere mid-season, which I hate to say, but that guy just cannot stay healthy. Last year was, overall, I would consider a very good year for Tua, but I feel like the Miami Dolphins also, though, were a pretty fake football team when it comes to success compared to actual success. So I have the New York Jets finishing their season 12-5. Comment down below your predictions for the New York Jets. I think going 12-5 is very realistic. I think the most games the Jets could win is 13. I think the fewest games that they could win is about 10. I think 12-5 is going to be, or even 11-6, that's really going to be the most accurate record that you'll see the New York Jets actually produce this upcoming season. I'm Dominic Konoweski. Take it easy, folks.